Ladies and gentlemen, week 7, we're back. Little break last week. I had a wedding to attend to. Couldn't do week 6. We're back for week 7. Um, Not a great slate, but we'll always break it down for you. It's football. We're going to break it down right here on the Money Backers. Shane, what's going on?
Oh, this week's gonna stink. Like half the 1 o'clock slate's backup quarterbacks.
Hmm.
This is gonna be brutal.
But we're still going to sit down and watch it for about 7 hours of our day. And we'll watch it again tomorrow and Thursday night and do it all over again next Sunday. So no matter what product is in the field, we'll watch it any day of the week. I know you guys will too. Let's go right into the first game, and we're gonna get it right over with this sit show. Um, Patriots and the Bills. Bills come in as 7.5 point favorites in New England. This line has dropped from 9 to 8.5 to 8 down to 7.5 now. I'll be surprised if it gets to the key number 7 here. If it does, I might have to jump on it.
But like, there's just no. How do the Patriots compete in this game? I don't see a way where they keep this like close even. Bills have been favored by 7+ points against Patriots twice since Mac's been there, and they've covered both games. Josh is 7-2-1 ATS against the Patriots. Mac is 0-11 ATS as a dog since the start of last season. The Bills just beat them in every category roster wise. I Bill the announcement that Bill got his huge contract might spark up some stuff, but he's been on that contract for a while. So I don't know how much of the Patriots offense we're going to see on red zone today.
Yeah, this is not a good spot for Mac Jones. He hasn't shown it in his career. He's in a good spot here. When the total is below 45, he's a dog. He's 1-7 ATS. He hasn't played good against good teams. As we've seen, he hasn't played good all year. The Bills most likely will come in and whoop that ass today. I'm going to see like a 31-13 type of game, probably 31-14. I know Bills' defense is banged up all around, so maybe you'll see some late points by the Pats, late meaningless points, so maybe 31-17 type of game. I don't see how they keep this within 10. It's going to be nice out. Josh is going to be slinging the ball around. Mac Jones just looks lost. O-line still bad. Defense is banged up. It's just not a good combination. I wouldn't be surprised if Bills put up 5 touchdowns today. And if that happens, there's no way in hell the Patriots can cover this number. So I'm going to go with the under here and the Bills by probably 14 plus here.
Not a lot to talk about here.
Yeah. Next game, Ravens taking on Baltimore in Baltimore. Ravens coming off, I believe, the London game, correct? They're traveling back from London.
Yes.
So a little bit of London hangover, maybe, Shane?
Maybe. A lot of things here favor the Lions here, and I think the Lions are just playing as a better team. We've seen the Ravens struggle on offense this year. Can Lamar really obviously we've seen Lamar be able to throw the ball deep, but can he though? Because this team they added a whole new receiving room, way better than what it was last year, and they're still underperforming as a whole. Lamar hasn't looked the greatest throwing the ball. He's running the ball. He's looking like the Lamar role because he's running it for a touchdown every week. But the Lions, I think, are too hot right now to back off of them at this point. You need to see them mess up before. I'd rather have them mess up and be on them than try to predict it every week and be wrong. So I'm on the Lions here today.
Yeah, I'm leaning Lions as well. Again, situation where Lamar does not cover these games. 3-13 against the number when favored by 6.5 or less at home. I'm not saying they're not going to win. It's just they win by 3 or more. It's tough for me to say on this one. Jared Goff just been playing out of his mind. This line defense has stepped up this year too. Do they give Lamar some trouble? I think so. That pass rush, I think, gets to Lamar a couple times today. We've seen Lamar hold on to the ball a little too much to start this year, I think, and he's taking some sacks, especially on 3rd and long. So I'm going to ride with the Hotto team here. It's kind of a really square side in Detroit. Getting 3 on the road as a dog, I get it. It's square. But we've seen this Baltimore team not win these big games. They win big games in division, with the spread being as 3. But when they're playing a good team coming into their building, they have not fared well, besides divisional opponents. So I'm going to lean the Lions here at the 3. Probably the money line as well. If you really want to get feisty and buy the hook at 3.5, I love that even more. Even a Justin Tucker late field goal, you still cash. So I'm going to go with the Lions here. The total-wise, it's a low one, under 45. it's telling you the under, but when you have a short number like this, it could spell to the over, just because you can see some back and forth play. The problem is with the Ravens here, do they have the passing game to keep up with the Lions passing game? And that will be the biggest question for this one. If the Lions are fully healthy, I think right Laporta's playing, Mamara's playing. No Marvin Jones, but Josh Reynolds is still out there, who's been playing pretty good for Goff. So I like the dog here. I know it's a square play, but I'm taking the dog.
Just ride the hot hand until it's cold.
I kind of agree with that. Commanders at the Giants today. First really
Here we
gross
go.
game we're going to talk about here. Two just bad teams, two bad quarterbacks. No Daniel Jones today. Tyrod Taylor making the second straight start of the year.
The only thing I really have going into this game is that historically the Giants have had the Washington's number. Rivera's 3-7 ATS versus the Giants and 1-7 ATS against the Giants as a favorite. Giants are 24-15-1 ATS versus Washington in the last 20 years, 7-2 in the last 9. Just give me the team with the points. It's disgusting to take the Giants here on the spot, but the way Sam Howell has been holding the ball for 10 seconds on every dropback, and he's probably going to set the record for most times sacked in the season this year at this rate. I'll just take the team with the points, and it just happens to be a home team too.
Yeah, I can see that. Tyrod is, I've said it for the past 10 years he's been in the league now. He's a guy who won't win you the game, but he's also a guy who won't lose you the game.
Did you see last week?
That was the first half.
I mean, it's a pretty.
Meaning, in my point in that is he won't throw a pick.
Well, yeah, he won't throw a game-losing pick or whatever.
I think he's a pretty good game manager. Saquon's playing again. Is your O-line healthier at all? Is Thomas back? Oh,
hell no.
Oh, that's good. So that front seven's gonna have a field day with that O-line today. So I smell 17-14, 21-17 type of game here.
You think that many points are going to get scored in this game?
Just because both secondaries have struggled so much, I think so, yeah. I can see a couple breakout screens or, if Saquon gets up the middle a couple times. So I could see 21-17, 17-14 type of game, 18-17. Nothing above 40, 43 points. What's the total out right now?
Probably 35 or something. It's probably disgustingly low.
42.5. Actually, 37 now? Holy God. It's at 30. It dropped 5.5 points. Yeah, I get Daniel Jones is out, but 5.5 points. It's at 37. Wow. So pretty low total usually means pretty low scoring game, obviously. That kind of makes sense. The money percentages on the total here. It's not really a huge need for the books here. 56% of the tickets, 56% of the money on the under at 37. Washington getting plenty of money here as a road favorite. 65% of the money, 60% of the tickets on Washington. So books kind of need a home dog here. I'm kind of liking the value here with Tyrod. It's just that O-line is scary against this front seven. So
they were able to handle the Bills' pass rush, which I mean is a sign to see that maybe they can stop. The Commanders' line, on paper, should be amazing, but it hasn't been performing to where they should be.
I think there's too much talent on it. There's not enough spots for each person.
They're looking to trade one of them.
They gotta get rid of one of them. Payne,
one
Allen,
of Chase Young or Sweat. One of Chase Young or Montez Sweat, I think, are going to get.
Yeah, get some secondary help.
I think it's Chase Young because he's due for a contract. I'm pretty sure.
What's his worth though? Right now, he's so injury prone. So yeah, I kind of win the dog here to gross game. Third for him? Holy God! All right, moving down to the
second
NFC
overall pick.
South. Yeah. We're moving on, Shane. We're done talking about the Giants. We'll talk about them next week.
No, we won't.
Falcons taking on the Bucks. Bucks laying 2.5 at home against the Falcons. Baker off a loss. Falcons off a loss. I told Shane before this show started. Arthur Smith is a road dog getting 2.5 or less. Has not lost the head coach so far this year, or so far in his career. Take it, it's only 3 games. One with Matt Ryan, 2 with Desmond Ritter. Desmond Ritter has never covered a first half spread in his NFL career. Any chance that continues to?
Well, that would involve them like scoring a good amount of points, and I don't think he's capable of that. He is 3-0 ATS versus the NFC South like as a whole, which looks pretty good for him. Baker's not that great at home covering as a favorite. It's a lot of these games this week. I'm siding like if it's just it seems pretty close. I'm just taking the team with the points because there's a lot of games this week that are like that. So I'm just gonna take the Falcons here.
Yeah,
like, there's
Baker
nothing
Mayfield
that's really pushing it.
0-7 ATS last 7, coming off a loss when he's playing his next game at home. He's not a good bounce back guy. He does win in those spots, but usually he's a pretty sizable favorite. This game coming in only 2.5. 2.5 point dogs in divisional games have covered pretty well this year. Dogs in general have covered. Of course, Roy from Atlanta's on Falcons. Shocker. Yeah, I kind of like the dog here again with the point, Shaq. I see what you're saying. Just the value here is on the Falcons. It's kind of a weird line. Bucks come in. If they win the last game, they're 4-1. They come in 3-2, and all of a sudden they're a 2.5 point favorite against this Falcons team. Kind of weird, in my opinion. Looking at the money splits in this one, this line opened up. If I can find it, opened up as -1.5. It's at 3 on some books. Total has dropped as well at 37.5. Opened at 41. Public heavy on the Bucks today. 74% of the tickets on the Bucks. Only about 60% of the money. So it looks like the Bucks are going to need the road short dog here today. I'm going to route the Bucks too. With the Falcons in the money line and probably the under and kind of a gross ground and pound type of game for both quarterbacks. All right. It's getting worse and worse. Raiders at the Bears. This could be the grossest game of all time.
Game of the week.
I really have no interest in talking about it, but we're going to anyways. Raiders come in with Brian Hoyer. Obviously, no Jimmy G today. Raiders opened as a -1 point favorite on the road in Chicago, taking on a Justin Fields less Chicago Bears team. This is bumped up to 2.5 on most books. Some still sitting at the 2 point line. Public and the money on Vegas here at 70% of the money, 67% of the tickets on Vegas at -1. Total sitting opened at 46.5, down to 38.5 with both quarterbacks being out. Money and tickets both on the under here.
Brian Hoyer versus Tyler Badgett. This is what everybody was looking forward to in week 7.
This is so bad, dude. I don't know what to say. This is awful.
The only there's not really going to be trends to work either side of this team. Brian Hoyer hasn't started a game since 2018, unless he started for the Patriots once.
Maybe once.
He started 3 games since 2018. But there's nothing to look for that, so I'm just gonna take the side that has a game changer on both sides of the ball, and that's the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
They have Max Crosby, who's been a monster this year. They have Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs, who can be driving forces of an offense. The Bears don't really have that. They have DJ Moore, who blew up that 1 week. Watch out for him. Well, his quarterback's not here to do anything for that. Devontae, we've seen his quarterback proof. DJ Moore, not really that as much. Yeah, I'm just gonna side with the team with the better top tier players. Just give me the Raiders.
Yeah, it's tough for me to pick a side here. Obviously, you can go more experienced quarterback, better defense, but it's just so bad on both sides. I'm gonna take the Raiders here. God bless you if you put money on this game. If you lay whatever the amount is in the money line for the Raiders team, God bless you. I can't do it. You have balls, I do not apparently. Under?
What are we sitting at right here? What is the number? How is this the same over under as the Giants Commanders game?
This is sitting at 38.5. Just bumped up to 38 now.
How is this higher than the Giants Commanders game?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't see either team scoring 3 touchdowns here. I don't see how that happens. I see a lot of field goals, a lot of third and longs towards the red zone. So I'm gonna go real under here. I'm gonna go 14-10, 17. I can't even say 17. Something in the realm of 14-10 here. I'm gonna go under. It's kind of gross at 38.5, of course, less than 40 points. But I don't see how either team puts up any points, how any team throws in the field. I don't know.
This is going to be like a 42-35 shootout now.
No fucking. There's no way.
Tyler Badgin's about to put up like 5 touchdowns this game.
There's no way.
Dude, apparently there's a scout on the Bears that was saying that Tyler Badgett is a better quarterback than Justin Fields. Like, he was saying this during
that's why he works for the Bears.
Time.
He probably drafted Mitch Trubisky over Patrick Mahomes, too. Yeah. Too easy.
I thought it was just an absurd statement.
Next one is the Browns taking on the Colts. Browns with or without Deshaun?
With Deshaun.
With Deshaun. Only a 3-point favorite coming into Indianapolis today. Browns defense, obviously top 5 in the league. Some might say best in the league.
They're the number 1 defense in the league right now.
Okay, Shane's opinion says they're best in the league. Obviously Anthony Richardson out for the year, which is unfortunate. Kind of knew that coming into the season. He's going to get hurt because he doesn't want to protect himself. So he is out for the rest of the year. Gardner Minshew taking over as the starting quarterback here. Browns at -3. This game opened up as 2.5, up to 3.5 on most places. Consensus is it's at 3.5 now. Total opened at 42.5, dropped down to 40 because of the injury news, back up to 40.5 with Deshaun playing now. Public loves the under here, and why wouldn't they? Best defense, two solid defenses against Gardner Minshew. Tickets at 75% of the tickets on the under, 64% of the money also on the under here. So a little bit of sharp differential towards the over. If Deshaun loses this game, where do the Browns go from here?
I mean, they're going to keep Deshaun starting. Like, that's not like a debate here. He's coming back. I don't know if he's fully 100% yet or not, because when they were talking about like him being healthy, they're like, oh, it could be tomorrow, it could be like a week from now. Like, so there's a lot of like uncertainty there. But I also don't think the Browns are going to have to do a whole lot to try to win this game. I think they're going to limit Deshaun, try to not make him overdo it, work on the run game, let Kareem Hunt and Jerome Ford eat, probably work quick to Elijah Moore from the slot. Again, not a lot of points this game. Gardner Minshew is just not a quarterback you really want to bet on. 2-10 ATS his last 12 against teams above 500. Minshew's 1-7 straight up, 2-6 ATS. I'm taking the Browns here. The Browns are looking like a legit football team this year.
Yeah, and I think it's time. I know Deshaun's not fully healthy, as you see here. This is the money report from WagerTalk.com. Deshaun's not fully healthy, and it's unfortunate, but at some point we need to see Deshaun play the Deshaun Watson. And it's not going to be this week.
That Deshaun's not coming back. The Deshaun of Houston,
that's over with.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's unfortunate.
But
rest in peace, Deshaun Watson.
He can still be like a top 12 quarterback. Like, he'd be like QB 12. Like, if he like starts playing like at least somewhat competent football. Like, we've seen it this year where he's played a great game, but he just needs to be able to string that along for multiple games.
Yeah. It's tough for me to back Minshew here in this spot. He's playing a really good defense. He has to get the line small, but you're still on the road versus an offense that hasn't shown much. So yes, they got to put up points to win this game. I don't see how Minshew excels here. I don't see how the run game does well. Josh Taylor has been non-existent even when he comes back. Zach Moss still ran the ball a decent amount of times last week. I see the same here this week as they kind of filter Jonathan Taylor back into the mix here. I don't see how the Colts win this game. There's no direction of how they win. If they make Minshew throw, they're playing against the best defense. Make them run. The run defense is really good up front. The only way the Colts win this game is if they force turnovers by Deshaun, which is possible. But other than that, I don't see how this game is a good one for the Colts here. So I'm gonna ride with the road favorite here at -3. I'd probably buy it down to 2.5 if I was laying here any points. All right, this might be the first one we kind of disagree with here. Steelers taking on the Rams. This line has bounced back and forth all day. No action, no line movement until today, which is kind of weird, to be honest with you. I thought this line would bump up to maybe a 4-point line. Sharps like the Steelers here, of course. Why wouldn't you? You're getting Mike Tomlin as a short dog. Let me share this money splits here. As you can see right here, Pittsburgh comes in, Rams opened up as -3. Juiced up now to some spots at -3 at -120, some spots at -3.5, -105. I'm going to guess before tip, this game will get to the 3.5 line of the consensus. Money and bets all on the Rams here at 75% of the money, 72% of the bets. Total opened up as 42.5, up to 44, which kind of surprised me with the Steelers team. You're betting on them scoring points when they haven't done it all year. Shane, I understand the Mike Tomlin spreads and the numbers, so backing him as a short dog. But, man, I don't think Kenny Pickett can keep up with this passing attack for Stafford.
I don't think this boils down to Kenny Pickett. I think it boils down to the Steelers' pass rush. That pass rush wins the Steelers' games. We've seen it this year. We've seen it every year. The Rams and Matthew Stafford have struggled against teams that can rush the passer. And they have arguably the best pass rusher in football in TJ Watt. Matt Stafford is 36-57-2 ATS versus teams above 500. McVay is about dead even, 34-35-2 ATS versus non-NFC West opponents. Obviously, there's all the numbers about Mike Tomlin. I'm not going to go like crazy on those. The one that sticks out to me, though, Tomlin is 15-6 straight up after a bye. And the Steelers are coming off a bye. So Steelers getting extra rest. They're getting Deontay Johnson back too, which should help the offense. How do I word this? The Rams offense is a two-person thing. It's Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And they've had a run game so far this year because of Kyren Williams. He's not here. The main backup was Ronnie Rivers. He's not here. This offensive line isn't one where you can just put any running back there and have him succeed, I don't think. There's not really any notable players on that O-line. So you're going to have Royce Freeman and Darrell Henderson, people that haven't been on rosters the past couple of years, be your main backs. I don't really trust the Rams in this spot. There's going to be more Steelers fans at this game than Rams fans. Just how it's going to work. I think the pass rush is going to get to Matthew Stafford today.
Okay.
So I'm on the Steelers.
I can definitely see that, which is why I lean the under here in this game. Yes. I think it's going to be a slow, obviously Rams in the first half last game against the Cardinals couldn't establish the run. Second half, they established it, and it was a totally different half. We had the Rams, I believe it was by 7, the spread was last week versus the Cardinals. Yes, I understand the Steelers pass rush is there. I totally get it. They sacked Lamar, I think, 4 times last week. So look for the same amount today. The problem is, dude, for me, one, McVay is scheming against his pass rush. So it's going to be a lot of quick, either play action or quick passes to Puka or Cooper Kupp. I don't think there's going to be a lot of deep balls because I don't think there's going to be a lot of time for him to throw the ball. So I think you're going to see a lot of quick plays to Puka, quick plays to Cooper Kupp. And if it gets to the point where it becomes, are we taking Kenny Pickett in a shootout, I think it's a bad matchup. So here's the thing for Steelers. If you can keep Stafford on the ground, meaning keep getting in pressure, you win this game. But if somehow McVay figures out how to get these quick passes out, fast and to his two guys in the middle of the field for Puka and Cooper Kupp, I think it could be a troubling day for the Steelers. Just because this offense has been bad. It's just plain and simple, it's bad. Negative 2.5 FPI. It's ranked bottom 5th in the league in efficiency. It's just not a team where you want to get into a passing game shootout with. So the way this Steelers team is going to win this game is going to be through obviously defense and through low scoring game. So the key for Steelers here, obviously keep Stafford on the ground, keep pressure on him. The problem is, I think McVay has a scheme against that. So we'll see. For me, it's Rams or nothing. Like I said, good offense is beating bad offense this year by a pretty good margin. So I can't take this team who can't score points, no run game, really no passing game either. Freiermuth is still out. I know Deontay Johnson's back, but what is he coming back as? Kenny Pickett, I think, is still banged up. They're not reporting that, but I think he's still banged up. That you don't recover from a knee like that in 1 week. So I'm riding with the Rams here. I think the total goes under. I think it's kind of a gross game. 21-17, 20-17 type of game. It's a close one, but I think the Rams pull it out at home. All right. Staying in the NFC West here, Cardinals taking on the Seahawks. Before we get into this one, if you watch the second half of the Rams-Cardinals game last week, this Cardinals team does not want to win. Period. They're tanking, and it's pretty obvious. This team, first half and second half, is just two totally different teams. Outscored by, I think, double digits in the second half each game of the year so far this year. It's just not pretty. So Seahawks up to 9. We saw this open up, I believe, as 7.5. Let me pull this up right here. Seahawks opened as 7-point favorites, up to 9.5 now in some places. Wow. All the money, all the bets on Seattle. Not really surprising here. How can you back this Cardinals team, like you just said, after what we saw against the Rams second half of the game last game, and second halves in all the season? I think some people bought into the Kyler Murray, possibly playing, which was outrageous, and this line hasn't moved since.
Way too soon.
Yeah. Hasn't moved since that news reported that he wasn't playing. So now the line is bumping up to 9.5. I believe it will probably get to 10 by game time. Again, one of these teams where it's just, can they keep up with the Seahawks offense? And I think not. You're playing in Seattle, tough place to play. 4:00 game, which is just typical Seattle. I think it's just when you think of Seattle Seahawks, you think of 4:00 game. Not prime time, but kind of is prime time. And I think it's a good atmosphere here for them. Seahawks need a win here as well. I think we see a pretty comfortable win by Seahawks.
Yeah, the 12th man is going to be strong today. Pete Carroll has covered and won the last 3 against the Cardinals. Geno 19-13 ATS after a loss, and they realistically should have won last week, but they don't know how to score within the 10-yard line because they got there 4 straight times and ended up with 3 points. Cardinals 1-10 ATS last 11 versus the NFC West. One team's a playoff team, and some people think could be a sneaky contender. I'm not going to go that far. But the other team was also projected to be the worst team in football, has 2 first-round picks this year, clearly in a full-on rebuild. I think don't overthink it. Just take the better team here. Take Seattle.
Yeah, I think this is check numbers.
But how many of those were with Josh Dobbs?
Coming from the Arizona fan and coming from a team who had Kyler Murray. Let's see. Let's roll the numbers again with Josh Dobbs, coach. This fucking guy. This guy will always back his Arizona teams, but when it comes to money, he'll pick the right side. I think he's on the right side there as well. He caught me off guard there. Seattle, obviously, good offense. Defense has struggled mightily, as we've, probably guessed to start the year. It's just one of those games where how do the Cardinals keep it close? Is it through the air? Is it on the ground? The problem is, I think Geno has a day. So I can't take the points here. I'd lay the points here. Still at 9. I laid at 10. 9.5, 10. I'd still lay the points there. I think it's going to be kind of a gross game. So Seahawks and the under here for the Seattle Seahawks Cardinals matchup. All right. Next one. Chiefs at the Chargers. Maybe game of the week until we reach Sunday Night Football. Chargers at the Chiefs, 5.5 point line. I don't think this line has moved too much since we started the show. I believe it's still at 5.5.
Should be.
It's up to 6 now. Whoop, whoop. So Kansas City up to 6, which is why we check it. Money is on the dog. I think a little bit of sharp money on the dog too. 66% of the money, 56% of the bets on the Chargers at +6. Total, obviously, Chiefs Chargers game. How can you bet the under here at 52? It's actually dropped down to 48, 47.5 in some places. 82%. Sorry, 75% of the bets, 60% of the money on the over here.
Everything just says to take the Chargers in this game. Everything. Whether it be the analytics that say Justin Herbert plays really well against the Chiefs, or really good as a dog, or Mahomes and the Chiefs just not being able to cover in games like this. Yeah, the Chargers are just is just the play here.
Yeah.
The Chiefs covered last week. Are we really taking them to cover 2 weeks in a row?
Let them know the Herbert stat you got there.
Okay, so there's a couple here. Justin Herbert, 5-1 ATS versus the Chiefs, 4-1 ATS versus Patrick Mahomes, 7-0 ATS as a dog of 5 or more in his career, and 10-1 ATS as a dog over a field goal. So I don't think the argument is whether the Chiefs win or lose this game. I think everybody's on the side of the Chiefs winning. I mean, could the Chargers win? Sure, but the points with the Chargers just seems like too easy of a thing to pick.
I think this is do or die area for the Chargers here. Obviously, last week, very disappointing loss to Dallas, which we had Dallas as a -1 point favorite last week. I think this game means a little bit more to the Chargers and the Chiefs. Obviously, Chiefs winning 5 in a row since week 1. Chargers have dropped 2 in a row now, I think.
I think they're 2-3.
Yeah. 2 in a row? Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The problem is there any way the Chiefs lose 2 of their first 3 or 2 of their first 4 home games of the year? It's tough for me to think that way. I do think it's a close game just because, like I said, I think it's do or die for this Chargers team, do or die for their head coach probably, and Brandon Staley.
Well, we keep saying that, but they don't fire him, so I think he's going to be there the rest of the year. I think he's just there.
Yeah, maybe the rest of the year, but I think it's at some point you got to step back and say, is this the guy you want Herbert being with?
Just make Kellen Moore the head coach after he leaves. Just make Kellen Moore the head coach.
I don't know about that one either.
I mean, the Chargers' offense has been fine. Herbert's been slinging it. He's the OC right now, calling the stuff.
Okay. I have this line at 6, so it's right in the button for me. Obviously a home field advantage for the Chiefs here in a divisional game. Problem is just Herbert plays well in these games. Yes, is he not fully healthy? I don't believe he is. That thumb is an issue. You could see it last week when he wanted to run and he fell. He really avoided that hand. I think he dislocated his finger a couple weeks ago. So maybe another week he's even more healthier. But the do or die situation for me for this Chargers team is big here. I'm going to take the points and run with it. I think it's a shootout. And the only way you beat Mahomes in these games is a shootout. You don't beat him in low-scoring games. So I'm going to take the Chargers here plus the points. I like it if it got closer to 7. But we'll take the 6 here. I think I'd see a 4 or 5 point win by the Chiefs here. Maybe even the Chargers being up at half. I think Chargers come out to play today. So I can't really fade Mahomes in his home building, especially if he lost week 1. That means he lose 2 of the first 4 at home. I can't really see that happening, but I see it being a close game. So Take the points here. I think it'd be a fun game to watch. I'll be tuning in for sure. Next one. It's another fucking terrible fucking game. Two awful quarterbacks.
I'll be too busy watching this game to watch the other game.
Right, yeah. Russ has not played bad. I'm not gonna say he's been playing bad, but Jordan Love, after the last performance I saw of him, I think I'm off the Jordan Love train, Shane.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're expecting him now to just be like top half quarterback, but I also don't think he's going to be like a bottom 10. Like by the end of the season's end, I don't think he's going to be a bottom 10 quarterback.
He's playing like it right now.
I mean, technically, if we're going to get technical here, his rookie season, even though it's like his fourth year or whatever, but this is his first actual starting season. This game is just this game. Like, I don't want to take either side here. I don't want to pick somebody to win. I don't. I want this to be a tie. You know what? Book it right now. This is a tie. Right now. I don't care. I don't want to pick anything in this game. This game is disgustingly bad. You can't look at any metrics for Russell Wilson because that was when he was on the Seahawks and he was actually good. You can't take anything for this one step for the Packers is really alarming. Packers have played 2 road games after a bye under LaFleur. They've been outscored 75-18. Like, the only thing I have going here is I'm not picking the side with the Broncos defense. That's all I got. That's all I have. I'm not going to choose the Broncos defense.
Yeah. Not much action in this game. This line opened at 1, stayed at 1. Total opened at 45.5, dropped to 44.5 on some books. I don't think there's a lot of action in this game. The action that is on it is on Green Bay. 81% of the money, 58% of the bets on Green Bay, so a sharp differential there. It's just what I saw last week, Shane. It might be PTSD worthy.
Oh no, it was brutal.
Very bad.
Good thing we were on the Raiders.
I was not.
Oh, I was. Fucking.
No, you were. I switched. So I was not for a hefty amount of coin. So, yeah, I'm kind of scared of Jordan Love now. Kind of my kryptonite. So I can't take the Broncos here in the spot. I think it's a gross spot. I can't take the Packers here. So
take the under.
I won't. Yeah, take the under. Take the under. I can't watch this game either. It's just really bad football. Plenty of better games on the slate today to watch than that garbage.
Speaking of better games, break off a run and that's it.
Yeah, watch him break off a run. Speaking of better games, Sunday Night Football, great game here for Tua and the Jalen Hurts-led Eagles team. This line opened, I think, at a shorter number than it is now. It has to be. I think it opened at 2.5.
I think it was Eagles minus 2.5.
2.5, up to 3 now. I think it moved this morning up to 3 at minus 105, minus 110 at some spots. Total opened at 52.5. It has stayed steady at 52.5. Money's going to be on the over. Primetime game. Public likes, really two really good teams. Take the over. There's got to be points. And we've come to find out that did not happen. 52.5. I'll take the under on that spot all day long. Do I have the guts to do it and put money on it? Probably not. Public and money backing the Eagles here at home. 65% of the tickets, 57% of the money on the Eagles here. This is Bills-Dolphins 2.0. We've seen the Dolphins play some shit opponents and blow them out. Yes, Jalen Hurts has struggled to start his 2023 campaign. I think that's due to new offensive coordinator. And I think he'll figure it out as time goes on. Eagles in a bounce back. Bigger game for the Eagles. All of the points here at 3. Like it even more at 2.5.
Yeah, I'm on the Eagles in the spot. The game I can compare this to was the Cowboys-Niners game a couple weeks ago. But kind of flip-flopped. We were talking about 2 great defenses in that game, and we thought it was going to happen. This is 2 great offenses and 2 really bad secondaries going to be going at it. When a team that averages 35-plus points, that being the Dolphins here, I think they're averaging 37, thanks to that 70-point game they had. And then they're listed as an underdog. They're 1-3 straight up and 1-2-1 ATS in history. 2 of 3-3 ATS on the road at night. Hurts 14-6-1 ATS at home. Jalen Hurts 24-3 straight up in his last 27. The Eagles just find ways to win games with how their team's built. It's just so, and the Dolphins have not played any competition this year, and when they have, they've lost. I think the record of the teams they've beaten are like 5-24, 5-28, something like that.
It's not good.
They haven't beaten anybody impressive. Do I think the stars are going to shine in this game? Yeah, Tyreek's going to eat. Obviously, he does every week. AJ Brown's going to eat. Hurts and Tua are going to have probably pretty good stat lines. But I think the deciding factor here is the pass rush, and the Eagles are just built to rush Tua. And I don't think Tua really does well under pressure. All right. I'm taking the Eagles in this game. I think they're just overall, as a roster, they're the better team.
Yeah, for sure. The offensive struggles do scare me a little bit in this game, but I think obviously big home field advantage, prime time. They're giving you points for the Dolphins. What? I'm surprised more public money isn't on this Dolphins team. It might, as the day goes on, it might spread towards the Dolphins. This is a spot where I think you have really two good offenses, or really one really good offense who's played shit defenses, one good offense who's played some type of competition to start the year, and just a better defense, I think, for like you said, the pass rush for the Eagles. So I'm going to take the Eagles here. I do have it as a 1-point game here, leaning towards Philadelphia's way. Metrics say take the Dolphins. Might go against the numbers here and take the Eagles. I have no money in this game whatsoever. I'll probably place a bet like 8-15 tonight. So as of right now, I have nothing, but I lean the Eagles at this point. Jalen Hurts is the winner, man. He wins games. He's won them in college. He's winning them in NFL now. Like Shane said, 24-3, last 27. That's unreal. And he's even better at home. So I like the Eagles here in the spot. The 3 points kind of just screams push for me. So if I'm going to bet it, I'm going to take the 2.5. But yeah, I like the Eagles here in the spot as of now. All right, another good game to wrap up the Week 7 slate here. Finally, a good Monday Night Football game, and that is going to be the Vikings and the Niners. Niners come in as 6.5-point favorites here, unless it's changed in the last 45 minutes. I don't believe it has. Let's see. Go to football. 1 second.
Still
yeah, this line. What was that?
Still 6.5 right now.
Yeah. So 6.5. Where is the Monday Night Football game? Is something here? There it is. 7 opened at 7, has dropped to 6.5. 7 on some places still. Public is all over the Niners here. 84% of the bets, only 55% of the money though on the Niners here. So a pretty good sharp differential on Minnesota. Totals looking like most of the year this year has been overs. 91% of the money, 66% of the bets on the over here. Total opened at 47. It's dropped to 44.
Something feels really fishy about this game. Something feels real fishy.
Kirk in prime time. I know he's done, quote unquote, better over the past year or so. The 6.5-point line is scaring me. It screams taking the Vikings here. It screams way too easy for this Niners team coming off a loss to win by 7 points against this, some people might say, awful Vikings team. I'm not calling an upset, but it's looking like a pretty close game for the Vikings.
This line should not be where it's at right now.
I think this line should be at 8. I have so in my head, looking at this game, I think the line should be at like 8, maybe I guess like 7.5, 8-point game, more than a touchdown. My numbers say 4. So I have this. My numbers say a 4-point game. Obviously, a little more home field advantage for the Minnesota here with the Skulls. But man, Yeah, it's a tough one. I have not made a decision yet. Obviously, for this game, I'll make it tomorrow when I see more data come in. But Vikings, man, look like a pretty good dog in this spot.
The Niners have been doing great in night games. Purdy covering on the road, it not so much.
Yeah,
Brock
better at
Purdy,
home.
Brock Purdy 2-4 ATS on the road.
Hmm.
The Niners have covered and won 5 straight games a night. They've
Most of them at
won.
home though.
Yeah, I still think the Niners win this game. But I think the Vikings are going to keep it really close.
Yeah, you give me Kirk with obviously Jefferson out, but a team who can still move the ball if they don't fumble. A team that's desperate for a win. Both teams pretty desperate. I think Niners off a loss, pretty desperate to get a win here. But if you give me 7 points here with this Vikings team at home, it's kind of hard not to take that. And seeing that the public has not taken that yet is pretty surprising to me as well. So, um, nothing in the bet slip yet, but I'm leaning towards taking the Vikings at home tomorrow night. So that is my play. All right, Shane. Good show. About 50 minutes in. Any fantasy advice for the guys before we head
Do
out?
not start any Rams running backs, please, for the love of God. There's like 7 of them back there right now, and none of them are going to get above like 5 points. Please.
I mean, Daryl
Someone should
Henderson.
tell somebody in our league.
You like Henderson?
Yeah, I think it's cool that they signed him like a couple days ago to come play football. It's pretty cool. You know who else they have? Myles Gaskin too. But yeah, they brought up Myles Gaskin there too. They have their
Nice.
rookie. They have Royce
Solid.
Freeman. I think no one's going to see above 7 carries for them.
Hmm.
It's going to be like
Like I said, they're gonna win by throwing the ball. I think.
Also, that the Niners game that we were talking about, I meant to mention this. Christian McCaffrey confirmed playing. Christian McCaffrey in, no Debo. Obviously, no Debo for the next couple weeks. But McCaffrey is slated to play.
Okay.
Which is good for me.
All right. We're gonna end it here. What did he say?
If you have to take a Rams running back for a throwaway and oh boy. I'd probably go Henderson because he at least knows the system there because he was on the Rams for a bit. And I feel like they trust him enough for that. Like Gaskin's been on 3 different teams already this year. And then Royce Freeman hasn't been relevant since like 2017. So I'd probably go Daryl Henderson just because he has familiarity with the offense. They're all going to be like bare minimum price, but I'd just take Henderson.
Scoj had a great week last week in DFS, so he's looking to do that back-to-back weeks. Scoj, this is the guy for fantasy, my boy Shane. So any hits or clicks, let me know. I'll get right to you on that. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. Good show. Week 7 about to start in about an hour. Hope you guys have a great week. Good luck on your bets, and we'll see you next week for week 8.